Imagine walking the vibrant streets of New Orleans in the midst of the Jazz Age, where flapper dresses and the sound of jazz define the era, a time of cultural renaissance and artistic enlightenment. But lurking in the shadows of this radiant era was a darkness that gripped the city from 1918 to 1919, a terror that struck at the heart of the community and left a chilling legacy that remains unsolved to this day. This is the tale of the Axeman of New Orleans, a serial killer whose identity remains a mystery and whose rampage through the city introduced a level of fear and paranoia that contrasted sharply with the lively jazz tunes that otherwise filled the air. The Axeman did not just kill, he taunted a whole city into a state of hysteria. He was a phantom in the night, breaking into homes with nothing but a chisel, leaving behind bloodied bodies and a city on edge. His victims were mostly Italian immigrants, leading some to speculate the killings might have borne a mark of xenophobia or were tied to the mafia. However, these theories were never confirmed, and the true motive of the Axeman remains as much a mystery as his identity. What truly set the Axeman apart from other killers of his time was his peculiar demand, made in a letter sent to newspapers, for the city to play jazz music in every home and establishment. He threatened that any place where jazz did not play would be the next target of his wrath. Imagine the absurdity and sheer terror of such a demand. On the designated night, March 19, 1919, New Orleans turned into a grand jukebox, with jazz music pouring from every corner as the city collectively held its breath. And incredibly, that night passed without incident. The Axeman had seemingly spared the city in its collective act of defiance, or perhaps agreement with his demands. This bizarre intermingling of culture and crime adds a layer of complexity to the Axeman's rampage. The fact that a serial killer could influence the musical choices of an entire city for a night speaks volumes about the deep-seated fear he instilled. But it also highlights something profound about the community spirit of New Orleans. Despite the terror, or perhaps because of it, the city came together, united by music, in an act of shared defiance against the unseen terror. The psychological impact of the Axeman's crimes on the city's psyche cannot be overstated. The randomness of his attacks, the brutal nature of his killings, and the taunting letters sent to newspapers created a climate of fear and suspicion. Neighbors eyed each other warily, questioning who amongst them could be harboring such a sinister secret identity. The Axeman's ability to enter homes undetected and leave without leaving a trace led to frantic efforts to secure doors and windows, and yet the attacks continued, each as unexpected and terrifying as the last. The investigations into the Axeman's crimes faced numerous obstacles, from the lack of forensic technology available at the time to the multitude of theories that led investigators down various dead ends. Suspects were arrested, only to be released due to lack of evidence. And eventually, the killings stopped as mysteriously as they had begun, leaving the city to wonder if the Axeman had died, moved away, or simply vanished into the ether from whence he came. To this day, the identity of the Axeman of New Orleans remains one of America's most baffling mysteries. Theories abound, from the supernatural to the mundane, but no conclusive evidence has ever been presented to unmask the killer. The Axeman's legend has entrenched itself in the lore of New Orleans, serving as a grim reminder of the city's dark past, even as it continues to celebrate its vibrant culture and resilience. The story of the Axeman is not just a tale of murder and mystery. It is a reflection of the human capacity for both great evil and great resilience. It's a compelling narrative that forces us to consider the fine line between fear and fascination, and how sometimes, in the face of darkness, the light of community and culture shines brightest. And perhaps, somewhere in that balance, lies the real unsolved riddle of the Axeman of New Orleans.